Good morning, good morning, good morning, and I hope you are all wonderfully amazing on this glorious Sunday morning. Hello, hello, hello. And to everybody who I haven't greeted yet, hi, hi. I do hope that you are all amazing and welcome to Soul Service Sunday. I do love this. Honestly, I thought by now I'd be start getting bored of it, but I'm really and truly not. I am loving it. And I'm so glad to see that so many of you are as well. So thank you. So today, in our soul service, our entire service, from our opening prayer that we're going to go into shortly, to our closing prayer and everything in between, is going to be centered around a single word. Everything that we're going to do, even our healing prayer, everything is going to be centered around this one word. And this word came about because of a purchase I made and a deck that I received on Friday. So when I received this deck on Friday, I've spent quite a bit of time working with this deck over the weekend. I mean, and it's only Sunday morning. And I thought to myself, this is actually something that is so important. This is something that we all need to reframe our thinking and our mindset, something that we need to actually take time to think about for ourselves individually and collectively. So the entire service has been centered around this one word. This is the deck. It is called the Inner Compass deck. And if you see here, it says, follow your North Star to find your true values. And value is the word that we are working with today. This deck is a chunky one. All right. There are 200 cards in this deck. I have them here in front of me, and we are going to work with these. But we can't work with these if you don't put your flower emoji into the chat. So if you want a personal message, put a flower emoji into the chat. Keep putting them in there, right? No, one only, one only. All right, friends. So today's service is going to be around understanding and finding your values. Understanding the values of society at large, but understanding your own personal values. That is what today's service is going to be all about. So remember, we're going to do opening prayer. We're going to go straight into healing. So remember to please put names of anybody you would like to send healing to into the chat, and don't forget your flower emojis as well. Right, let's start with our opening prayer. Just get ourselves centered and into the right space. Divine Presence, the source of all that is good and true. We gather here today with open hearts and willing spirits, ready to embrace the light within and around us. We call upon our ascended masters. We call upon our spirit guides. We call upon the archangels and all beings of light who walk with us on this sacred journey. We ask that you surround us now with your love, with your wisdom, and with your guidance, as we reflect on the values that shape our lives. May we align with those that bring harmony, growth, and purpose. Let compassion root our actions. Let integrity guide our choices. Let courage empower our voices. And let love unite us as one. We ask for clarity to recognize the values that serve our highest good, and strength to embody them in our daily lives. May this space be a sanctuary of inspiration, of healing, and of renewal, where each soul feels uplifted and empowered. We thank you for your presence and for your blessings, and may this gathering ripple with the energy of hope, of joy, and of transformation. And so it is, and so it is. I love that. I really and truly love that. Really and truly love that. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So thank you everybody for joining in that, and hi to everybody who has come in to the chat, and hi to everybody who is watching the recording at a later stage. So we're going to now go into our healing meditation, our healing prayer, remembering this service today is all about values, working with understanding values. So please do put names down in the chat. If you prefer not to put a name in the chat, you can just hold them in your thoughts, hold them in your heart. You can write on your own piece of paper. You all know that I have my healing book, and every time I talk to somebody or I hear of somebody who is in need of healing, I add them to the book. I don't necessarily tell them. So for all you know, you're in my book already. So we include names of anybody anywhere who need the healing. All right. So during this healing prayer, I'm going to put a little something on the screen just so that you can disconnect from the visuals and just connect. I'm encouraging you all to participate in this healing. The way that I've put this healing prayer together is so that you can engage, so that you can participate, and that you can send and receive healing at the same time. So just putting that on the screen, just something for you to watch, something for you to be aware of, something for you to be mindful of, just while we do our healing prayer. So our healing meditation, our healing prayer today is centered on truth and values. Friends, today we come together as a collective. We are united in our intention to send and to receive healing energy, energy that is rooted in truth and rooted in the values that guide us. Friends, take a moment, please, to settle into this present moment. Feel the support of the ground beneath your feet or beneath you. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And as we begin right now, know that your presence here matters. You are both a giver and a receiver of this healing energy. You are part of a beautiful flow that connects us all. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale this breath out, I want you to imagine roots extending from the soles of your feet and going deep, deep, deep into the earth. These roots connect you to the steady, nurturing energy of Mother Earth. These roots are grounding you in truth and stability. Now bring your awareness to the crown of your head, to the top of your head. Taking in another deep breath in, and with your next exhale, I want you to envision a column of light extending upward from the top of your head, going up, 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 up into the sky, connecting you with the infinite wisdom of the divine and of the higher realms of light. Feel yourself now anchored between earth and sky, perfectly balanced and open to the flow of healing energy. I encourage you now to bring your hands to your heart, or to just rest them gently in your lap or by your side. As you visualize a radiant golden light glowing in your heart center, bright, radiant golden light in your heart center. This light represents your truth. It represents the values that guide your life, values of love, compassion, integrity, kindness, or whatever feels most meaningful to you right now. And with each breath that you take, feel the golden light grow brighter and stronger, filling your entire body. See this golden light getting bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, brighter and brighter, brighter and brighter, until it fills the entire body. Allow this golden light to cleanse and to align every part of you, being your mind, your emotions, and your spirit. As this beautiful golden radiant light continues to grow, as it continues to expand, I want you to see it glowing outward, flowing outward from your heart space, forming a beautiful shimmering sphere of light all around you. Now imagine this light extending beyond you, filling up the room, filling up your home, filling up your town, filling up your country, joining with the light of everybody else here today, as we create a powerful, unified field of healing energy, of golden, radiant, beautiful healing energy. And in the absolute center of this field, of your field, from your point of view, in the absolute center of this, I want you to see a sacred space, a place of pure love and peace. And into this space, we invite the names of all of those who are in need of healing. We offer all names of those written into the chat here today, and those names written in healing lists throughout the world. And if you have anybody else who may be in need right now, you can say their names out loud. You can think of them in your head, in your heart, or you can even just imagine their faces, visualize their faces, and know that they are receiving healing. See each name, each person, surrounded by this golden light, receiving exactly what it is that they need, whether that be physical healing, emotional comfort, mental clarity, or even spiritual renewal. Trust that this energy will flow to them in perfect timing and in perfect form. Friends, I invite you now to expand your vision once more. I want you to imagine this golden light radiating outward even further, rippling right across the world, like waves on a calm lake. See this golden radiating light touching every human being, touching every place, bringing truth, bringing harmony, and bringing healing wherever it flows. Picture this light honoring the values of each individual that it encounters, nurturing their understanding, respect, and connection. And now I invite you to take a moment to open yourself to receive the same healing energy. So turn your attention back to your own heart and feel the flow of this healing energy returning back to you. Know that as you give, so you are also replenished. Allow this energy to remind you of your own truth, your own values, strengthening your ability to live authentically and compassionately. Just feel and allow. Friends, we begin to bring our awareness back to our present moment. As you feel the support of the ground beneath your feet once more, feel the warmth of this golden light still surrounding you. Take a deep breath in, gently exhale it out. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Open your eyes if they have been closed. As you start to return to this space, give yourself a stretch if that's what you need to do, knowing that you are still carrying this beautiful healing energy with you. know that the energy that we have shared here today will continue to flow, bringing light and healing to all that is in need. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your intention. Thank you for sharing. And so it is. All right. Again, we always just feel so nice after that, don't we? We really and truly do. Okay, on to our next portion of our service. And this is the portion that I am calling reflection. And you already have an idea of what this reflection message is going to be. Because, as I said to you, today's service is because of this deck, the Inner Compass deck, which has really just been so powerful and so transformative for me over the last couple of days. And I definitely needed to share that with you. So, friends, today I want to reflect on something that is something foundational to who we are individually and collectively, and that is our values. So let's start by asking ourselves the question, what are values? Because I thought I knew. I did. I thought I knew what a value was. I thought I knew what, what my values were. But I've learned a lot. So values generally, very simply put, values are the principles that guide our decisions and define what matters most to us. I'm going to say that again. Values are the principles that guide our decisions and define what matters most to us. So they are our compass points that keep us aligned to our truth. Values might include honesty, compassion, freedom, creativity, family, or even personal growth. They are deeply personal and they are unique to every single one of us. So values can take many forms, as I have already said. They reflect the essence of what we hold dear and are often shaped by our experiences, cultures, and even life's challenges. So unlike a goal, which is a specific outcome that we hope to achieve, that we aim to work towards, like getting a promotion or completing a project, those are goals. Values are more about how we approach life. So for example, if one of the values that you hold is the value of integrity, and I hear a lot of people say, no, you must, operate with integrity. You must be integral. You must have integrity. You must live your life with integrity. A lot of people say that, but do we actually know what that means? So if one of your values is integrity, this means that hopefully you strive to act honestly, ethically, in any situation, regardless of the actual outcome. Regardless of the actual outcome. So hopefully that helps you to put integrity into a different category. If you value kindness, this means that hopefully you seek to treat others with compassion, whether or not they notice and or reciprocate that kindness to you. So we know that goals are important, right? But we also need to understand that goals are temporary and very much external. Values are enduring and internal, because our values are our compass that help us to navigate our journey on earth. So why are values so important then? Because, friends, when we live in alignment with our true values, life suddenly feels more meaningful and more authentic. We experience a sense of harmony because our actions reflect who we truly are. But when we stray from our values, whether it's due to external pressures or internal conflicts, we suddenly start feeling lost, unsettled, or even burnt out. And I know most of you in the chat here today are feeling that way at the moment, lost, unsettled, and burnt out. So values also guide us through tough decisions. So when we are faced with uncertainty, asking yourself the question of what do I value most in this situation can bring clarity and direction to the decision that you have to make. So it is important to recognize that not everybody is going to share the same values as you. Not everybody is going to share the same values as me. And that's okay. And that is absolutely okay. So for instance, somebody who values adventure may prioritize taking risks and exploring the unknown, and whereas somebody else who values security might prefer stability, careful planning. Neither of them is wrong, they're just simply different. And that's okay. That's what makes this world go round. So conflict often arises in our lives when we assume that everybody shares our values or judges them or values something different. The key here is to practice understanding and respect. Big word. Big, big, big word, respect. When we honor our own values while also respecting the values of another person, we create a space for connection rather than of division. So how do we actually identify our own values when you don't have a deck like this that has 200 cards to help you identify your own values? So if you are unsure of what your core values are, and I have to emphasize the word core values here because our values change depending on the circumstance, the situation, and what it is that we're doing and what it is that's important. So if you're unsure what your core values are, I'm going to give you 3 questions that you could reflect on that will help you identify what your core values are. So the first question is, what qualities or principles matter most to you in life? Question 2, when do you feel most fulfilled or most authentic? And question 3, what are you willing to stand up for even when it's hard? So if you can take time and answer those 3 questions for yourself, you'll be amazed at what core values you identify for yourself. I'm actually going to see if I can copy these into the chat. Hold a second. There we go. I have put them in the chat. So if you want to copy and paste, if you want to write them down, if you want to come back to this later, there are those 3 questions to help you identify your 3 core values. Another way to identify values that are important to you is to look at moments of conflict in your life. So often conflict highlights where our values may be clashing with somebody else's or even with our own actions. So once we've identified what our core values are, once we've identified the values that we think are important to us, we need to live in alignment with this, okay, with these. We need to live in alignment because, and let me just say that living in alignment with your values is not about living a perfect life. It's about awareness and intention. So there will be times when we make mistakes. There will be times when we need to compromise. But what matters most is coming back to what matters, coming back, grounding yourself in your true set of values. But here's the next challenge. Life is full of challenges. We live in a world that is constantly telling us how we should act, how we should think, or even how to feel. Society has a way of prescribing values for us. Often, these values are based on current trends, cultural norms, and societal expectations. And this is the challenge, is often society's way of prescribing values clashes with our own personal values, and suddenly we're not okay anymore. So let me give you some examples. Society may, for example, this is just examples, right? Society might glorify financial success, encouraging us each to chase material wealth, even if our own personal value is simplicity or a meaningful relationship. But society has glorified financial success as a value, as number one value. So we all try to adopt that, but it actually isn't a number one priority for us. So this might push us to conform to certain standards of beauty, success, even our personal behavior, even when those standards don't align with who we truly are. And this equates, so this whole thing of chasing financial freedom and financial success and abundance equates busyness with productivity and therefore our worth, even if we value balance and inner peace. So when we try to mold ourselves to fit these external expectations that society has put on us, we find ourselves in absolute conflict with ourselves. We do. Because now we're trying to, like I said, mold into these external expectations of being busy equals being productive equals success. But all we want to do is have peace and harmony and balance in our lives, because those are our true values that mean the most to us, but we haven't acknowledged that for ourselves. And friends, let me tell you that when we live out of alignment with our own personal values, we experience something which is called cognitive dissonance. You've all heard that term before. You might not understand it. I'm going to explain it to you now. You might not understand it, but you've all heard people talk about cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is a feeling of discomfort or unease that arises when our actions don't match our beliefs. I'm going to do it again, right? Always repeat the things that are important. When we live out of alignment with our values, we experience cognitive dissonance, which is a feeling of discomfort or unease that arises when our actions don't match our beliefs. And let me tell you that over time, this disconnect manifests as one of three things. It manifests as stress and anxiety, because we're constantly trying to meet external expectations, which leads to chronic stress and a sense of just not being good enough. So stress and anxiety. And I'm not talking stress and anxiety. I'm talking stress and anxiety. It can also lead to a loss of authenticity. So when we ignore our own values to fit in or to gain approval from other people, we actually lose touch with who we truly are. So we have a loss of authenticity. And the third and most important way that this disconnection can manifest in our lives is burnout and fatigue. How many of you woke up this morning tired? Put your hand up. How many of you woke up this morning tired? How many of you wake up every day and you're just like, oh my gosh, how long is this day? When is this day going to end? We all experience this all the time, burnout and fatigue, because we're not living in alignment with our values. So when you're living your life for others rather than for ourselves, this drains your energy like you cannot imagine. And this leaves us feeling empty and unfulfilled, and that leads to burnout and fatigue. So perhaps what's most important here as well is that this misalignment erodes our long-term happiness. Happiness isn't just about fleeting pleasures. It's about living a life that feels meaningful and true. And that is only possible when we honor our values. Okay. Yeah, Dane putting up hand. So, when we align ourselves with our values, we feel a sense of integrity and a sense of wholeness. Decisions become clearer because we're guided by what truly matters to ourselves. Even challenges feel more manageable because we know that we're acting in accordance with our truth. Living in alignment doesn't mean that life will always be easy, unfortunately. In fact, it actually might mean that sometimes you have to make difficult choices. Saying no to opportunities that don't align, standing firm in your beliefs, or facing criticism from other people because you're different. But, but the reward is a life that feels authentic, a life that feels meaningful, and a life that is fulfilling. Okay, let's have a sip of water before I carry on. All right. Identifying your core values. So, how to recognize and how to honor your values. The first thing you have to do is you have to identify your own personal core values. To do this, to identify your own personal core values, you need to reflect on what truly matters to you. Again, ask yourself those questions. What qualities do I admire in other people? What qualities do I admire in myself? When do I feel most fulfilled? What principles am I willing to stand up for? Okay, so I gave you those 3 questions, right? That is most important, is identifying your core values. If you don't know what your core values are, you're not living. You're not living. You're a robot going through the motions. Your life is never going to be fulfilling. It's never going to be fantastic. It's never going to be awesome. And you're never going to have happiness. It's just not possible. Another way to recognize and to honor your values is to evaluate your actions. Your actions, not somebody else's, your actions. So consider whether your daily choices actually are in alignment with your values. And if they are not, what small shifts can you make to bring them into alignment? This next one's a big one. Let go of external validation. Understand that you do not need to meet everybody's expectations. Your worth is not defined by somebody else's opinion, but how true you are to you. I'm going to copy and paste this into the chat because to me, if you take anything away from the service today, I hope it's this one sentence. There, read that. Understand. Actually, let me put it on screen. I forget that I can do that. There we go. Right, I forget that I can do that. Understand that you don't need to meet everybody else's expectations. Your worth is not defined by others' opinions, but rather on how true you are to yourself. And then the 4th way to recognize and to honor your own personal values is to accept differences. Accept differences. To recognize that others may have different values, and that's okay. That's okay. Respect their journey while staying true to your own. It's so important, friends. It really and truly is so important. So what are the long-term benefits of living in alignment with your own true core values? When we honor our own values, we create a foundation for lasting happiness and inner peace in our own lives. We cultivate resilience because we are rooted in something deeper than fleeting trends or external approvals. Living authentically also inspires others. By standing in your own truth, you give other people permission to do the same. We create a ripple effect, fostering a world where differences are celebrated and authenticity is valued. So friends, in a world that is full of noise, it takes courage to honor your own personal values. But that courage is what leads to a life of integrity, fulfillment, and ultimately joy. So today I invite you to reflect on your true values and to ask yourself, are you living in alignment with what truly matters to you? And if the answer is yes, then let's celebrate that. Celebrate that today. But if your answer is no, like honestly, truthfully no, know that it is never too late to realign and to reclaim your truth. So remember, your values are your compass, and they will always guide you home to yourself. I really hope that this little chat about values has helped you. I really hope it's helped you to just put your own life into perspective, to see things for what they truly are. I would like you, just going to give you 2 minutes to in the chat to tell me whether you do believe that you are living in alignment with your core values, or whether this has made you actually pay attention. Just comment for me and put it into the chat. Just very quickly, I'd like to hear. Oh, you see, Dane, this message has slapped me across the back of the head and provided such validation. You know what? Thank you. That is what Soul Service Sundays is all about. This is what I was hoping would happen. And if it happens to one person in each service, I'm happy. That's 52 people a year that I will have changed. Dane, that is awesome. Thank you for sharing. I really, really, really appreciate that. Because that's what life is all about, isn't it? You know, it's not about changing everybody else. Everybody else is fine. We like, let them. We did that topic, right? We've discussed let them. This is about changing ourselves. This is about us becoming better, happier versions of ourselves, because that's the only thing that matters. So yeah, comment. I can visualize all of you frantically typing. Comment and let me know whether you have been, up until this point, living a life of truly connected to your core values, or whether you realize that you haven't been. Pat says, living the joy and the peace that I am. I know, my darling, you are amazing. You are amazing. You are such an inspiration. You truly are an inspiration. So much love for you, my friend. So much love for you. Lee says, definitely not living a life connected to core values. And you know what, my darling, that's why there are challenges and problems and unhappiness and this emptiness, this anxiety and stress and all the rest of it. So Lee, I'm so grateful that you've recognized that. I'm so grateful that you're able to see that now, because now we can start making adjustments so that we do start living a life in alignment with our core values. Absolutely. Because that is what is so important. That is what is so important. Give everybody else a minute or two as well. Okay. I'm going to let you all type. Oh, there come all the messages at once. Earth Star says, most definitely thinking about my alignment. I thought I was getting there, and today has prompted me to reassess. I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's prompted you to reassess, because as long as we are working towards improvement, change, then we're doing well. Then we are doing well. Mel says, I am living my core values. Thought yet fulfilling. You see, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That is awesome. And I know it's not easy to do. So well done. Claire says, to some extent, but not nearly enough. And that's the truth. That is honest truth there, Claire, that most of us in certain aspects are, but not nearly enough. Paula says, struggle at work. You see, absolutely, because work is a whole nother ballgame. Struggle at work to always live my core values, although I do try. Well done for trying. But when you're employed by a company that has its own value system, which is different to yours, it is a difficult thing. Veronica says, I realize that I have fallen short in many areas of my life according to my core values. Absolutely, my darling. And Sue says, I'm getting there slowly. Retirement has helped. Absolutely, my darling. Corporate world did clash. Huge. Absolutely huge. Especially if you are a light worker. And like Sue, I know you are a light worker. You know, when you're a light worker, all of us here today are light workers. So when you are a light worker, corporate world does. It clashes terribly with that. I used to be a corporate girl. I couldn't anymore. I walked out of that. And since then, I have been living in alignment with my values. And I'm so much happier for it. All right. I did ask you all to put flowers in the chat. Please do. I'm actually going to say now, even if you've already put a flower, from now on, please put flowers in the chat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the astrology of the week ahead first. I'm just going to get all the admin out the way. So I'm going to get the astrology of the week done first. And then I'm going to, for all of you who put a flower in the chat, I'm going to randomly pull a card for you from this deck to give you a value that you need to work with for the next however long. Okay, so this might not be a value that you've even thought about. It'll be something completely new, and it might not even be a value you want to take on, but what it's going to do, it's going to help you to just shift the focus. So yes, put all those flowers into the chat, thank you, and I will look at them after I have done the astrology. So let's do our astrology for the week ahead. So this week, remember the way that I do the astrology is I pick a single astrological event that is happening over the next 7 days that I feel is something that we're all going to feel the effects of. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a highlight about that event and tell you how it's going to affect each one of you. So I'm going to give you a little description of the event, and then I'm going to go through the zodiac from Aries all the way through to Pisces and tell you how to work with this energy for this week. So this week's astrological forecast, I am looking at the full moon that is happening in Leo on Wednesday. The full moon in Leo is a time to shine. And isn't that just so perfect with our values? We got this whole service focused on values. So to me, the full moon in Leo is all about, accepting and standing in your truth. It's a time to shine. It's a time to step up. So this week's full moon in Leo invites us to embrace our boldness, our creativity, and our inner light. Leo is ruled by the sun, and under this lunation, it asks us to step into the spotlight, to express ourselves authentically, and to honor our passions, our values. Excuse me. So the full moon illuminates areas of our lives. I need to have a sip of my water. Hold a second. Okay. So the full moon illuminates areas of our lives where we crave recognition or where we may have dimmed our light in order to fit in. So Leo's fiery energy encourages courage and self-confidence. However, it also highlights ego-driven dynamics. It asks us to find balance between self-expression and collaboration. So while the sun is in Aquarius, this Leo full moon reminds us to align personal desires, values, with the collective good. So how does this particular full moon impact us this week? There will be increased emotional intensity. Leo amplifies our emotions, especially regarding self-worth, creativity, and recognition. This full moon will have an impact on allowing us to focus on being truly authentic. So themes of self-expression and staying true to yourself will dominate. Letting go of drama. This full moon is a powerful time to release any attachments to drama or validation from others that you may be seeking. And this full moon in Leo brings us into heart-centered energy because Leo rules the heart. This is an opportunity to act from a place of love for yourself and for others. So how can you work with the full moon? The first thing to do is to reflect on your achievements. Celebrate what you've accomplished so far this year, no matter how small it is. I say so far this year, I mean today's only the 9th of February. So celebrate what you've accomplished so far, no matter how small. Express yourself creatively by painting, dancing, writing, sharing whatever your natural talents are in a way that feels true to you, values. You could also perform a release ritual where you write down what no longer serves you, fear of being seen, self-doubt, limiting beliefs, whatever it may be. And then you burn or tear that paper to symbolically let it go. You could also set heartfelt intentions by focusing on courage, on self-love and joy as you set your intentions for the coming lunar cycle. So friends, it is a full moon in Leo, and there you have a little bit of a rundown on what that actually means, what you can do with it, and how it will help you. I'm now going to go into the horoscopes for each of the zodiac signs, where I'm just going to give you a short little thing on what you can do. So horoscopes, when I do them, it is for your sun sign, so your standard zodiac sign that you will know that you are. But if you have had your chart before and you know what your rising sign is, I am going to encourage you to pay more attention to your rising sign than to your sun sign. Okay. But if you don't know your rising sign, your sun sign is perfect. So Aries, for you, first up, the full moon is going to light up your creative side. So take bold steps to showcase your talents, but avoid impulsive actions in relationships. Oh, interesting. Taurus, it is time for you to focus on your home and your emotional foundation. Let go of comfort zones that are keeping you from shining bright. Gemini, for you, your words have power this week, as they do every week, but more so this week, Gemini. So speak your truth with confidence, but remain mindful of other people's perspectives. Cancerians, for you, this lunation highlights your self-worth. Release any fears around financial security and step into your true value. And Leo, obviously the spotlight is on you. Embrace this moment to shine, but remain grounded in humility, please. Virgo, it's a period of rest and recharging. Reflect on your inner desires and release any self-criticism that you are holding on to. Libra, for you, surround yourself with supportive people who lift you up. Let go of superficial connections. Scorpio, your career and public image are hugely highlighted this week. Step into leadership roles, but try to avoid any power struggles. Sag, this is a time to broaden your horizons. Release fears that are holding you back from pursuing any new opportunities. Capricorn, it is time to dive into transformation and healing. Let go of old emotional wounds to make space for growth. Aquarius, relationships and partnerships are taking center stage for you. So it's time to balance your needs with those of others and to release old relationship patterns. And finally, last but not least, Pisces, focus on your daily routines and focus on your health and well-being. Let go of habits that might hinder your productivity and your vitality. So friends, remember, this week's full moon is a vibrant reminder that you are worthy of being seen, heard, and celebrated. So use this energy to step into your full power while staying aligned with your heart, staying aligned with what truly matters. That is our astrology done. Dum, dum, dum. And now we're going on to, why can't I find my thingy? There it is. Messages. All right. So I see only some of you have put flowers in. If you haven't put a flower in and you see now what this is all, because I know sometimes we're a bit nervous to put ourselves out there on a public domain. So I do understand. But if you see how it goes and you decide you want a card, please just add a flower and I will do it. So Earth Star, starting with you first, my precious friend, my darling, let's pull a value for you that you need to focus on this morning. Not this morning, this week. Oh, this is an interesting one. So Earth Star, you have got religion. To be devoted to your religious beliefs, practices, and observances. To adhere to a worldview and a unified system of beliefs and practices which unite into one single religious community group. To be reverent and committed to your particular system of faith and worship. How fabulous is that? That is huge. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. Lee, let's get one for you, my darling. Right? Obviously, I can't shuffle this. I mean, look at the size of it in comparison to my hand. I can't shuffle. So I did shuffle all the cards before I started the service. Now I'm just grabbing a card at random. All right. So Lee, you've got, oh, this is fun. Variety, Lee. To do different things and to experience different things. to have novelty, change, and surprise. The opposite of a life that is routine, uniform, and always the same, or even monotonous. Now, I have to say to you, Lee, this is so you. This is so you. I love that for you. Love that for you. Paula, let's get one for you, my darling. Paula, a value that you need to focus on is knowledge. To have and to contribute valuable information, awareness, understanding, facts, skills, and wisdom. So, Paula, that is a value that you need to adopt, that you need to take on. Pat, my precious friend, let's see a value that you can focus on for the coming week, or just to incorporate into your life. Oh, you see. Pat, you have got memories. Let's just get it into focus so we can read. Memories, to remember things and to have experiences which are memorable and that induce nostalgia, to reminisce, to be able to encode, retain, store, retrieve, and revive information, facts, events, and impressions from the past when needed. Like that one for you, Pat. Mel, let's get one for you, darling. And you have got, a value that you need to focus on is productivity. Creating, forming, making, or producing things or results in an effective manner that are significant and numerous. Oh, wow. That is so interesting. So interesting indeed. Veronica, let's get a card for you, a value for you that you need to be introducing or worrying or working with over the next while. Okay, Veronica, you have got favors. To receive or to give service-oriented actions as a way of receiving or expressing love. Acts of service, kindness, and support beyond what is due or usual and with no sense of obligation, such as cooking a meal, doing the laundry, fixing a car, running an errand, or going out of the way for me. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Interesting indeed. Amber Sun Gold, love your name, Amber Sun Gold. Let's get a value that you can work with this week. Your value is calm. To be pleasantly free from strong emotions or stressful activities. Claire, put it in again, my darling. I asked everybody to put it in again, so I didn't have to scroll up so far. So please put your flower in again. Dane, and that's for everybody. So if you did put your flower in right at the beginning, I'm asking you to put your flower in again now, please. Okay, Dane, let's pull one for you. Dane, this is a lovely one. Affirmation. To receive or to give affirmative, positive, kind words as a way of receiving or expressing love. To be built up by others and to see their approval, their appreciation, and their love for you through what they express, say, write, or communicate, such as compliments, praise, admiration, and expressions of gratitude. Love that. Love that. Love that. Okay, so let's do Claire. Let's get a value that Claire needs to work with, that Claire needs to be mindful of. Oh, nice one for you, Claire. Achievement. To have and accrue important accomplishments. To successfully acquire, attain, gain, reach, win, realize, fulfill, to bring about or to reach a desired objective, level, or result, especially due to your own merit. How fabulous is that, Claire? Love it, my darling. Mandy, 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 let's find one for you. Mandy, Mandy, Mandy. Mandy, yours is home. Okay, let's get it into focus. To have a place of belonging and comfort. This doesn't necessarily have to be a house. It can be a feeling or a place. a person or an experience with whom you feel completely comfortable, and somewhere or someone you can always go to feel a sense of comfort, belonging, security, and happiness that relates to or that happens inside the place where you and potentially the people you love reside. Fabulous is that. Absolutely fabulous is that. Randy, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Your value, Randy, is hope. To maintain a positive and optimistic outlook, to have hope, to have an optimistic state of mind that is based on an expectation of, anticipation of, or desire for positive outcomes with respect to events and circumstances in your life or in the world at large. Love that one for you. Love that one for you. Right, I think I have done them all. I think I have done them all. Friends, thank you. And look at us just on 1 hour. I love that. I love how a plan comes together. I do hope that these values that I've shared with you today are just going to just make you think about yourself, your life, your circumstance a little bit better, a little bit differently, to just climb out of your comfort zones and to start acknowledging what actually truly is important to yourself. Remember, I did put the 3 questions into the chat as to how to identify your core values. The chat will be here. You can come after the recording and copy and paste, write them down, do whatever you need to do. The video stays up. So if you want to come back and just re-listen to this whole conversation around values, obviously you are more than welcome. More than welcome. Friends, join me now as we close in prayer. So let us come together now in gratitude. I just realized, sorry, I didn't change my heading, and I must change my heading. I must change my heading. I also want to, while I am doing the closing prayer, I do want to just give gratitude and thanks to my members as well. Oh, Randy, I didn't take you off. Sorry, there we go. So friends, let us come together now in gratitude, reflecting on the insights and the experiences that we have shared. Divine Spirit, source of light and truth, we thank you for guiding us through this time of reflection and connection. In the sacred space that we have explored the depths of our values, the essences of who we truly are. May we carry forward the wisdom to recognize the values that define us, those principles that bring meaning, joy, and authenticity to our lives. Help us to honor these values in our thoughts, our words, and our actions, even when the world around us pulls us in different directions. Please grant us the courage to stand firm in our truth, the compassion to respect the values of others, and the clarity to discern when we are living in alignment with our own hearts. As we leave this gathering, may we feel strengthened by the light within us, knowing that our values are a compass, guiding us towards a life of fulfillment and peace. Let this healing energy that we've shared today continue to flow, touching all of those who are in need, nurturing the harmony that we seek in ourselves and in the world. We close with a deep breath, inhaling hope, exhaling gratitude. May we move forward with open hearts, with steady minds, and an unwavering faith in the power of living authentically. And so it is. And so it is. Friends, thank you for being with me. Thank you for sharing this space with me. Thank you to all my channel members. Your support, your unconditional love is really and truly what makes me come back every time. I hope the service has changed your life for the better. I hope that you look at yourself and you look at others in a different way. I hope you realign yourself with what truly matters most. And until we connect again tomorrow morning for daily inspiration, or next Sunday, which will be an evening service, by the way, next Sunday evening, I am sending you all much love and many blessings from my heart to yours. Take care, friends. Enjoy your Sunday.